enough of that, and we'll put the sauce on. The sauce consists of olives, green olives, pitted, of course. You take out your own pits. Don't buy them pitted ahead of time. That's a mild California olive. I want you to use a European olive. And a bit of garlic sauteed with the olive oil. You soak the olives in the olive oil for a couple of days ahead of time. On goes the sauce with a little bit of cream, and now we need some pepper. Where's my pepper shaker? Here's one. And oh, what would you put on it? How about some grated Romano or Parmesan? Huh? We'll toss that and put it out for our buffet. You see, the flavors here are so very different that it doesn't matter if you're repeating, if you'll pardon the expression, the filler. That's okay. So it's pasta. That's all right. You'll have a good time with it. And a little parsley, and we have pasta with onion, with olive, which I think is a very unusual dish, and I think you'll enjoy it. All right, let's go on. The third one, 1, 2, 3. The fourth one, I want to try to make a quick stuffed shell. Now, you've probably done this with your recipe, but I want you to do it with mine and understand that it's very, very simple. I have parsley all over the kitchen this morning. There it is. Okay. We've got some beef or Italian sausage, about half a pound that I've pre-cooked. That should be enough. And to that, I want to add an entire package of spinach. And I have melted the package of frozen spinach and chopped it up, or I bought chopped spinach. You see, but squeeze out the juice, for heaven's sakes. You don't want that in there. The wetness will ruin the stuffed shells. And then we're going to add a half of a pound of cottage cheese, and I've drained the cottage cheese the same way. We don't want all that extra moisture, or it will be running all over the dish, and we don't want that at all. So we have some cottage cheese, and I'll put in, find another spoon here, put in about half a pound. Said to put it in a colander until the juice drains out. And then we'll add 3 cloves of garlic. Good Lord, Helen, there he goes on the garlic again. Yes, well, it's good for you. It's good for you. And the history of garlic is so fascinating. Every day I hear from someone who tells me some new fact about garlic, and it's just, I can't imagine what the world would be if we had not, what's the word, discovered or been given? I guess both will do. Discovered garlic or had been given garlic. How boring it would be. Sit down to sauces that were flat because they didn't have garlic. It's a great blessing, isn't it? Wonderful stuff. Okay, what else? Oh, we need the juice of half a lemon. Here we go. And then we're going to add about a 1/4 cup of Parmesan or Romano cheese. Please grate it fresh. You'll be much happier that way. 1/4 cup of cheese. We need some salt and pepper. And don't put in too much salt, remember that. And a bit of pepper. And then for our seasoning, we're going to use, come on, pepper, go. We're going to, empty? No, not quite. Use a good French barrel peppermill. It'll work well for you. Okay, and we're going to add, for our seasoning, our herb, we're going to add a bit of oregano, a classic Italian herb. But you know who found it first? I understand that the Greeks had it before anybody else. Oregano. So put in a little oregano and 1 beaten egg, and we have our filling. And this is best to mix with your hands. Best to mix this up with your hands so you can squish everything together. There. Now, if you say to me, as you do often when I'm on the road talking with you, my kids don't eat right. They don't eat enough of this and they don't eat enough of that. How do I get them to have better eating habits? Well, get them in the kitchen when you're making this dish. That'll turn them on. Because it's fun to prepare. Boy, that's all over the place. Now, excuse me, I'm going to rinse my hands off, but it's fun to prepare this kind of thing, and if the kids do it, if they've had their, ready for the bad line? Okay. If they've had their hand in it, they're going to enjoy it much more than if it comes to the table mysteriously and they say, as I know your grade school kid says, ugh, what is that? Well, you tell him because he'll feel better, and besides, he'll have helped on it. Now, to stuff the shells, cook the shells ahead of time and chill them in water so that they're not too hot to handle. And then we'll just pick up a shell. See how big these are? Aren't they marvelous? You can find these at any good Italian market. And we'll fill them up there like so and arrange them. I'm not going to take credit for what I'm going to show you. My friend Michael did this for us. And in answer to another question you keep asking, no, it's not possible for me to cook all of this stuff when when you consider we have so many things at different stages for you. So I have friends that come and help. Now, after stuffing the shells with the mixture I've just given you, Michael put some pasta sauce on it. Good spaghetti sauce. You know, you can have any kind of... Don't dump it all over the place. And I'm not going to take time to fill this whole thing up, but of course you should. You make a whole pan. Don't dump it on there. Just put a little bit on the top. Dabble it on, you see? And then you put some Parmesan cheese on the top. And on top of that, you can use either mozzarella or Swiss. But Swiss has a much nicer flavor. So we've used the Swiss. And on top of that, we want to put a bit of oregano, not just for color, not just for interest's sake, but because cheese and oregano, why, they just belong together, don't they? Wonderful flavor. All right, this goes into a 350-degree oven for about, how long, Michael? Half an hour? Half an hour? Okay, we'll see what happens. His is in here. Oh, I'll put this in and cook it anyhow. Someone will want to eat that. And the cheese will cook down. You want to brown it a bit, you see? It's beautiful. It's just beautiful. Let me get a... Ah, there it is. Somebody put it on. All right. Don't want to burn up our counter. Isn't that gorgeous? The shells are stuffed, you see, and the sauce will encircle the shell, but it won't seep into the filling. So you have a very delicious, and I think very creative dish. You can pick up your own filling, varied any way you want. Italian sausage is great, and if you use hamburger, be sure and add a bit of fennel to your hamburger and a little bit of garlic, and then you'll have the taste of Italian sausage. That's the secret of Italian sausage. Fennel. The Greeks call it funicule, I think. I'm pretty close. Otherwise, I know I'm going to hear about it. That's fine with me. All right. Finally, I want to make a bagna cotta for you. And a bagna cotta is a... well, we did it some time ago. Do you remember a bagna cotta is a blend of olive oil, anchovies, and butter. And, of course, tons and tons of garlic. So what we want to do is to melt a cube of butter. This is for entertaining, so don't be all put out that I'm eating so much butter. I'm going to have to move this. The burner wasn't working right. We'll melt the butter down, and to that butter, we're going to add a bit of olive oil, about a half a cup, to our cube of butter. I shouldn't say cube. Some of you have written me letters and, what's a cube? What's a cube? On the West Coast, we call a stick of butter a cube. So now you understand, all right? There's the olive oil and the butter. Now to that we're going to add about 3 to 5 cloves of garlic, and I'm going to chop this garlic. So I want you to watch closely. It's easy to do, providing you have a clean board to work on, for heaven's sakes. Look at all the green tracks are from the spinach. There we are. Use the back of your knife, please, when you're scraping your board. Don't use the sharp part. You're going to dull your knife. All right. And we're simply going to dice up our garlic like so. You notice that do I have to tell you again? Keep your fingers bent under you. Stick them out and you're going to lose them. Nice sharp knife. And just keep chopping away. We'll dice that up. Doesn't have to be too small. And now we'll go into the hot oil and melted butter. All right. Now use the back of the knife again as a scraping device. Please don't use the sharp part or you'll lose out on the whole works. All right, into the pot it goes. Garlic, garlic, garlic. You see, isn't that an awful lot of garlic for 1 stick of butter and 1/2 cup of olive oil? I don't think it's too much. Now, I need 6 anchovies, flat anchovy fillets. You notice I've taken these out of the can. These are from Spain, I think. You don't want Scandinavian. Those are too sweet. You want anchovies from Spain, Portugal, or Italy. I'm going to use about 1/2 dozen, and I've soaked the oil. I've taken the oil off of them by letting them sit on a towel, a paper towel. I want to mash these up a bit, or chop them very fine, and they will go into the butter and oil and garlic, and you've pretty much got a bagna cotta. It means a hot bath. And in Italy, what you do is to celebrate your friends by sitting around a bowl full of this hot bath. Again, it's just a cheap excuse for eating olive oil, butter, and garlic with an anchovy center, and you dip vegetables into it. So it occurred to me, and you eat the vegetables, you know, lettuce, leaves, onions, anything you want. It occurred to me it should make a great pasta dressing, and it's just murder. I mean that affectionately, all right? It's a very good dish. But this is not the kind of thing that you serve people you don't know. This is the kind of thing you serve people that you do know. Sometimes we have to entertain people we don't know at all. I dislike that. On the other hand, let's face it, that when we set up a dinner party, we're setting up an evil image of the world, you know, the Old Testament and the New. expects us to entertain everybody. And that gets to be hard sometimes. The biblical parables that involve taking people in off the street and feeding everyone. You couldn't do that with this dish because some of them wouldn't care for that much garlic. All right, now we'll get some pasta. I'm going to use spaghettini this time. Here we are. And the spaghettini goes into the hot water to be refreshed or brought up to snuff. There, that's about ready. Oh, the odor. Notice I'm using my hand to bring the odor over to my face. For heaven's sakes, don't put your face over the pot. 2 reasons. 1, if you have hair, don't get smart with me now, but if you have hair, it'll fall in the pot, and nobody wants that. And 2, you'll burn yourself. So don't do that, okay? Now, we'll toss our last one and put it in a bowl here. I'm going to toss the pasta. Here we go. Toss the pasta and then put it in a different shaped dish so that each thing kind of looks a little bit unusual as we go along. And of course, we'll need some cheese on that. There, is that too hot to handle? Yes, it is. There we go. Put our bagna cotta sauce on the pasta. The wonderful flavor of anchovy. And then we're going to add 1 whipped raw egg and some cheese. You won't need any salt because the anchovy is very strong. Let's whip up an egg now and we'll be ready to go. Where did I put my egg whipping bowl? Here we are. I know that some of you have caught me fooling around in my kitchen and you realize, my Lord, he doesn't wash everything in between time. No, when I'm cooking, you know, I try and cook 1 day at a time viciously. And then I want to have a good time and not have to keep washing everything, so I just keep using the thing until I'm done with the whole kitchen, and then have a good time. Finally, we're going to put some cheese on this, and a bit of pepper, perhaps, if you like, a little parsley garnish, and you have a wonderful dish. Okay, there you have them. We've prepared 4 of them for you today. Well, excuse me, I have 5. I have 5 for a pasta buffet. You need a glass of red wine, a good green salad, and you're on your way to a fine time. Quiet, Jeffrey. There, the glass of wine is important because you need the variety of good support, and this will do it. So, a tortellini salad with peas, easy to make. Make it with belly buttons. And then we have fried ravioli, a lovely sauce of Roquefort cheese dressing, and the olive salad that you must try from a Chicago cabbie. And then Michael's baked, stuffed shells, and finally, pasta with anchovy and oil. Enjoy yourself. That's what it means to entertain. This is the Frugal Gourmet. Until I see you again, I bid you peace. Bye-bye.